The light below the lake. Did you know there's a land where mountains murmured and valleys held secrets like cupped hands? And beneath all that there was a lake so still it mirrored the sky with unnerving precision. Locals called it Glasswater. Travelers called it God's Eye. But the elders whispered its truest name, only in winter, when the wind was thick enough to keep the truth from slipping away. They called it the Lake of Locked Light, because beneath the curtain, far below the calm that fooled the world, there hung 100 lanterns, caught in the cold grip of broken choices and abandoned convictions. Each lantern belonged to someone who had once falling and then dropped it, because fear felt easier, or failure felt certain, or maybe shame felt safer than shining. These lanterns glowed faint, flicker thin, like heartbeat whispers, promises made in dark rooms but never brought into the daylight. And in a cottage near the lake lived a boy named Bran, born with more yearning than years, more questions than answers, more hope than history. Bran believed these lanterns were not lost, only waiting for someone brave or foolish enough to swim down and reclaim what the world had taught them to relinquish. So one night, when the moon bowed low and the lake lay flat as it held breath, Bran stepped into the water, fully clothed, fully trembling, fully done with living half a lit life. He dove. The shock of the cold sliced his skin, his certainty, his carefully tended caution. But still deeper he swam, past the shimmer of stars, past the slit of old sorrows, past his reflection and into the realm of the forgotten. His lantern swung in the underwater hush, glowing like guilt, glowing like grief, glowing like glimpses of who he could have been if he had dared sooner. He reached for one of the smallest, the shyest, a small lantern that pulsed with the quiet ache of calling postponed too long. The moment he touched it, the lake roared, a rush of currents, a crash of cold, a chorus of every fear he had ever tucked under his ribcage rose to drown him. What if you fail? What if you fall? What if you're not enough for the light you claim? Bran choked, kicked, panicked. The lantern dimmed. The lake whispered, "Let go and live safe." The oldest temptation of all. But then Bran felt it, a simmer, a spark inside himself, not the lantern, not the lake, but him. A stubborn spark, the kind that survives storms and shame and silence, the kind that refuses to die even when the soul tries to bury it. He wrapped both hands around this lantern and held it like a heartbeat kicking backward and upward through the drowning doubts, through the crushing cold, toward the thin thread of moonlight that stitched across the surface. He burst into the air, gasping, glowing, now alive. He carried the lantern to shore, and for the first time in his life, he lit it. And the lake trembled, not in anger, but in awe. One lantern, reclaimed, freed the next, and the next, and the next, until the whole lake shimmered with the rising light, a constellation ascending from the deep of every lantern, lifting like 100 second chances all over again. The elders said Bran broke an ancient curse. Bran said he just told the truth with action instead of apology. So, spoken in the hush after the courage, he realized there are lights inside you buried because the world taught you to fear them. Dive anyway. Darkness is dangerous, but neglect is fatal. Salvation begins the moment you choose to reclaim what you abandoned.